Have you ever walked into your own home and felt a strange heaviness in the air, even though nothing dramatic has happened? No loud shouting, no visible fight. Yet something feels disturbed inside. The silence feels uncomfortable. Conversations are short. Smiles look forced. You sit together, but your hearts feel miles apart. You love your family deeply. So why does peace sometimes disappear without warning? Why do small misunderstandings turn into emotional distance? Why does one simple comment suddenly create hurt that lasts for hours, sometimes even days? Many people step outside their homes and show kindness, patience, and respect to the world. Yet inside their own house they feel irritation, frustration, or exhaustion. Have you noticed this in your life? Have you ever promised yourself that you will stay calm next time? But when the moment comes, the same reaction repeats again? It can feel confusing and painful. You may wonder, what is wrong with us? Why can we not just live peacefully? The truth is, the problem is not that love is missing. Love is there, care is there, but something deeper is silently blocking the flow of harmony. Today, let us gently explore this together. Let us look beyond the surface of daily arguments and discover the one simple change that can slowly transform the energy of your home. Because peace at home does not begin with controlling others. It begins with understanding something within ourselves. Most people believe that the biggest problem at home is arguing, shouting, or disagreement. But if we look more deeply, we will see that arguments are only the surface. The real problem is something much quieter and more hidden. It is the pain that is never expressed, the feelings that are never understood, and the expectations that are never spoken clearly. A husband may feel that his efforts are not appreciated, yet he remains silent and allows resentment to grow slowly inside. A wife may feel emotionally alone, yet instead of sharing her sadness openly, she withdraws and becomes distant. Parents may feel tired and stressed from responsibilities, and without realizing it, their tone becomes sharp. Children may feel unnoticed and slowly stop sharing their thoughts. None of these people are bad. None of them want conflict. Yet unspoken emotions begin building invisible walls between hearts. Over time, these small walls turn into emotional distance. The home still looks the same from the outside. The furniture has not changed. The rooms are the same. But the warmth inside begins to fade. When feelings are suppressed instead of understood, they do not disappear. They wait. And when a small situation arises, those hidden emotions suddenly come out in the form of irritation or blame. This is the hidden problem. It is not the argument itself, but the unhealed emotions beneath it that slowly disturb the peace of the home. This happens because the human mind is deeply conditioned by past experiences, and most of us are not aware of how strongly those experiences influence our present reactions. Spiritually speaking, we carry impressions within us, memories of hurt, rejection, criticism, or fear. And these impressions quietly shape the way we respond to people we love. Psychologically, when something reminds us of an old pain, even in a small way, the brain reacts as if it is protecting us from danger. A simple tone of voice can feel like disrespect. A small delay can feel like neglect. Without realizing it, the body tightens, the voice hardens, and the ego rises to defend itself. Instead of calmly saying, "That hurt me," we accuse. Instead of listening, we interrupt. Instead of understanding, we prepare our argument. To people who truly care for each other suddenly become opponents trying to win. It is not because they do not love each other. It is because they are reacting from unconscious fear rather than conscious love. When awareness is absent, old emotional wounds quietly control the present moment. And so the same arguments repeat, not because the issue is big, but because the inner pain is still unhealed. Every family carries unseen patterns that move silently from one generation to the next. Spiritually, these patterns can be understood as karma, not as punishment, but as repetition of unconscious tendencies. The way we speak, react, withdraw, or express anger is often learned long before we even realize it. Perhaps you grew up in a home where love was rarely expressed in words. Perhaps shouting was normal, or silence was used to show disappointment. As a child, you observed, absorbed, and slowly formed beliefs about what relationships look like. Now, as an adult, in moments of stress, those same patterns quietly return. You may promise yourself that you will behave differently. Yet when emotions rise, the old response comes back automatically. This is how inner patterns operate. They are like deep grooves in the mind, guiding behavior without conscious choice. Karma, in this sense, is simply the momentum of past habits continuing into the present. Until awareness enters, repetition continues. But the beautiful truth is this: the moment you recognize a pattern, you weaken its control. When you pause and say, "This reaction is not helping my home," you begin to rewrite destiny. Peace at home starts when one person chooses not to repeat what hurt them in the past. That conscious choice breaks the cycle and opens the door to a new future. In daily life, the signs of inner conflict are often small and easy to ignore, yet they quietly reveal what is happening beneath the surface. You may notice that a simple mistake creates a reaction that feels much bigger than the situation itself. A forgotten message, an unfinished task, or a different opinion suddenly turns into irritation or sharp words. Sometimes there is no loud argument at all. Instead, there is cold silence. Two people sit in the same room, but no one speaks from the heart. Meals become quiet. Conversations become practical and dry. Eye contact becomes rare. You may hear phrases like, "You always do this," or "You never understand me." These words are signs that old pain is mixing with present moments. In some homes, children begin to withdraw, sensing tension even when no one explains it. In others, one partner becomes overly critical while the other becomes defensive. These repeated situations are not random. They are signals asking for awareness. When the same type of disagreement keeps appearing in different forms, it is not simply coincidence. It is an invitation to look deeper. Instead of asking, "Why are you like this?" perhaps we must gently ask, "What is this situation trying to teach us about ourselves?" Healing begins not with changing others, but with gently changing the way we respond. When tension rises at home, the first step is not to prove your point, but to pause. Take one slow, conscious breath. In that small pause, you create space between emotion and reaction. Ask yourself quietly, "Am I about to speak from love or from hurt?" This simple awareness can prevent many unnecessary wounds. Instead of interrupting, allow the other person to finish. Listen not only to their words, but to the feeling beneath their words. Sometimes anger is only a covering for sadness. Sometimes criticism hides a need for appreciation. When you respond with calmness instead of ego, the energy of the moment begins to soften. You may say gently, "Help me understand how you feel," or "I did not see it from your side before." These simple sentences carry great power. They show humility, and humility dissolves tension. Also, express your own feelings honestly but kindly. Say, "I felt hurt," instead of "You always hurt me." This shifts the focus from blame to understanding. Healing is not instant, but it grows slowly through consistent awareness. One calm response today becomes to tomorrow. And over time, your home begins to feel lighter, safer, and more loving, not because others changed first, but because you chose to respond with wisdom. The deepest spiritual lesson hidden within family conflict is this: home is not merely a place to live, it is a sacred space for inner growth. Every disagreement is not just a problem to solve, but a mirror reflecting something within us that is asking to be healed. When irritation arises, it reveals where patience is still weak. When ego reacts strongly, it shows where insecurity still exists. When silence becomes heavy, it reminds us that love must be expressed, not assumed. Life places us in close relationships not by accident, but for awakening. The people in our home become our greatest teachers. Through them, we learn forgiveness. Through them, we learn humility. Through them, we learn how to love without conditions. If we look at family life only from the surface, we see stress and misunderstanding. But if we look spiritually, we see opportunities for transformation. The moment you decide to respond with awareness instead of habit, you begin a quiet revolution within your home. One calm heart can influence many restless hearts. One act of patience can stop a chain of reactions. Gradually, the atmosphere changes. Light replaces heaviness. Understanding replaces blame. And you realize something profound. Peace at home was never waiting outside. It was waiting for awakening inside you. As we come to the end of this reflection, take a slow, gentle breath and think about your own home. Not the walls, not the furniture, not the responsibilities, but the feeling inside it. Peace at home does not arrive through control, dominance, or winning arguments. It begins quietly, within one aware heart. Perhaps you have been waiting for someone else to change first. Perhaps you have been hoping that circumstances will improve on their own. But real transformation begins the moment you decide to respond differently. Even one small change in tone, one patient pause before speaking, one sincere attempt to understand instead of defend, these small shifts carry powerful energy. They slowly soften tension and rebuild trust. Today, ask yourself honestly, what is one reaction I can change starting now? If this message touched you, write a comment below sharing one habit you will begin to practice for peace in your home. Your commitment may inspire someone else who is silently struggling. I would also love to know what topic you would like to hear next. Would you like a video on healing anger, improving communication in marriage, strengthening parent-child relationships, or building daily spiritual habits at home? Share your thoughts gently in the comments. If this reflection brought clarity or comfort, consider subscribing and sharing it with someone who may need this guidance today. Let us grow together as a community that chooses awareness over ego and love over reaction. May your home become a place of harmony, understanding, and spiritual growth. Jai Gurudev.